Hey, good morning, everyone. Lisa Freed here. And oh my goodness. So, on this episode of Before My Morning Coffee, I gotta say, I think I'm a slow learner. You know, I've talked about it before on my podcast. This week, even, I'm sure of it, about expectations being the thief of joy, of them robbing us of what feels good. And oh my goodness, do I still find myself with expectations? You know, look, why do we do these things? Why do we do these things? And even more importantly than why, because who cares why, what can we do instead? You know, what could we do instead? And so I don't know if you know Michael Singer. He wrote The Untethered Soul, and then he wrote The Surrender Experiment, I believe it was called. I don't know. It's one of those books that I bought. First off, I read The Untethered Soul. I didn't think it was as profound as people were suggesting. And then I bought The Surrender Experiment and hated the texture of the pages. Can you say resistance much? And so I could never get into it. So I'm going through a course that he has written all about surrender, and it talks about how 99.9999999% of the universe is nothingness. Like how many light years it is between stars and how far the distance is between planets and all these things. And the audacity of us to have expectations and judgment as to what we are experiencing, when really we should just be grateful and thankful that we are able to see anything at all. And how can we place so much judgment on atoms reflecting light? And it's mind-blowing as we move through this training, but still I find myself with these expectations. For example, I signed up for a meditation challenge, a 28-day meditation challenge, and I was like, awesome, because I've often thought about running my own challenge, right? And meditation challenge, and thinking, wouldn't that be awesome to have people join in meditation? And I said, but they're doing it, so let's see what theirs is like. And it was really nothing remarkable. Like, here I am having judgment on how well they should be able to host people sitting quietly. They had the same things that happen. The tech issues where some people get to come on without being muted. And of course, during meditation, any bit of noise can be distracting. And yet, anything that I've ever learned about meditation is like, that's part of the practice, is to be able to maintain meditation with noises. So, but here I am still thinking like, oh my goodness, really? This is what the experience is? This is what, like, they did not meet my expectations. Well, who the hell am I to have expectations anyway? And if I think I could do it better, why don't I do it? Oh, right, because it's not actually a real priority. So why don't I just celebrate the fact that I get to participate in this? Now, I know that this might seem like a ramble, but this insanity that I speak of is all the similar to what insanity goes on in your head. Maybe not the exact focus points or what have you, but let's face it, your mind is going on telling some story about itself anyway, right? Like it's happening. So don't act like it's not. But what can we do instead of having expectations? Or how can we check ourselves or snatch one back when we are finding ourselves having expectations of another? What can we do? What can that look like? You know? What can we remind ourselves in those moments? Now, there was a story, not a story, but like a mantra that I had when I was really stressed out. I was like, I don't even know how things are going to work, and oh my goodness, and I was afraid and panicked and all these things. And so one of the mantras that I would use was really quite simple. And it was this: it all works out the way it should, benefiting my greatest good. So instead of having expectations, can we really lean into this space and place of trust that it all works out the way it should, benefiting our greatest good? Now, it doesn't mean that it's got to turn out the way that we think it should. It doesn't have to look the same way that that we make up the story in our minds. But can we hold space that it can turn out even better? I don't know. That's what I'm playing with today. I invite you to play with it. All I know for sure is that if you want to be happier in life, get rid of expectations, because they are the thief of joy. I wish you a day as beautiful as you. I hope you enjoy a steaming hot cup of coffee, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another episode of Before My Morning Coffee on Rebel Hearted. Bye for now, everyone.